Between 1968 and 1985, a series of brutal murders cast a dark shadow over the beautiful hills of Tuscany. An elusive killer, known to the world as the Monster of Florence, terrorized the region, leaving behind a trail of fear and a mystery that endures to this day. This is the story of Italy's most infamous serial killer, a phantom who haunted a generation and whose identity remains one of the country's greatest unsolved enigmas. The nightmare began on a hot August night in 1968, near the town of Signa. Barbara Loschi and Antonio Lobianco were shot and killed inside their car. At first, it seemed like a crime of passion. Barbara's husband, Stefano Mio, confessed. He was convicted and imprisoned. The case appeared closed, but 4 years later, the same gun, a .22 caliber Beretta, would be used again, revealing that the true killer was still at large. This first crime, with its false confession and tangled motives, was merely the prologue to a much longer and more terrifying saga. The year is 1974. The idyllic Tuscan countryside is once again the scene of unimaginable horror. Near Borgo San Lorenzo, two teenagers, Pasquale Gentilcore and Stefania Pettini, are found murdered in their Fiat 127. They had been shot with the same .22 Beretta used in 1968. But this time, the killer did something more, something that would become his gruesome signature. After killing them, he mutilated the young woman's body with a knife. The press, realizing a serial killer was on the loose, gave him a name: Il Monstruo di Florencia, the Monster of Florence. Panic began to spread. The monster hunted couples, targeting lovers seeking intimacy in the secluded country lanes around Florence. For the next 7 years, an unsettling silence fell. The killer seemed to have vanished. The public and the police began to wonder if the nightmare was over. But in 1981, the monster returned with a vengeance. Giovanni Foghi and Carmela Dinuccio were killed near the same Beretta pistol, the same horrific ritual. The terror was back, and it was more intense than ever. The police were baffled. They had no witnesses, no physical evidence beyond the shell casings, and no clear motive. The killer was a ghost, emerging from the darkness to strike and then disappearing without a trace. The attacks now became more frequent, almost a yearly ritual of death. In October of the same year, Stefano Boldi and Susanna Cambi were murdered. In 1982, Paolo Mainardi and Antonella Migliorini. In 1983, 2 young German tourists, Horst Meyer and Genzu, RSCH each time. The pattern was the same: a swift, deadly attack on a couple in a car, followed by the chilling mutilation of the female victim. The investigation intensified, but it was plagued by errors, false leads, and internal rivalries. The pressure to catch the killer was immense, leading to desperate measures and a wide, chaotic net of suspects. The police began to focus on a group of men from Sardinia who were connected to the first murder in 1968, including the convicted Stefano Mil and his relatives. This theory, known as the Pista Sarda, or Sardinian Trail, consumed the investigation for years. Several men were arrested, interrogated, and even convicted, only to have their convictions overturned when the monster struck again while they were behind bars. The investigation was going in circles, chasing shadows while the real killer remained free, perhaps even watching the chaos he had created with a sense of satisfaction. The public's faith in the authorities plummeted. In 1985, the Monster of Florence committed his final, and perhaps most brazen, double murder. A French couple, Jean-Michel Crevic-Vili and Nadine Moriat, were killed in their tent in a wooded area near San Castiano. The crime was discovered days later. The killer had once again performed his horrifying ritual. This time, however, a crucial piece of evidence emerged. A prosecutor in Florence received an anonymous envelope containing a part of the female victim's body, a taunting gesture that sent shockwaves through Italy. It was a direct challenge to the authorities, a final, horrifying signature before the killer disappeared for good. After this crime, the murders stopped. The Monster of Florence vanished as mysteriously as he had appeared. The silence of the monster did not mean the end of the story. In the 1990s, the investigation took a dramatic and controversial turn. The focus shifted from the Sardinian Trail to a new group of suspects, known as the Company di Merende, or Snacking Buddies. This group included a farmer named Pietro Passiani and his friends, Mario Vanni and Giancarlo Lotti. The theory was that these men were not just killers, but part of a wider conspiracy, possibly involving a satanic cult or powerful individuals who commissioned the murders. Passiani, a man with a violent past, became the prime suspect, the public face of the monster. Pietro Passiani was arrested and put on trial. The proceedings were a media circus, a spectacle of bizarre accusations and unreliable testimony. Passiani was convicted in 1994, then acquitted on appeal in 1996, and his conviction was then annulled, ordering a new trial. But before that could happen, Passiani died in 1998 under mysterious circumstances. His friends, Vanni and Lotti, were also convicted based largely on Lotti's confession, which many believed was coerced and full of inconsistencies. The snacking buddies theory satisfied the public's need for an answer, but for many observers, it left more questions than it answered. Was this group truly the monster? Or were they just convenient scapegoats in a desperate investigation? 30 years of terror, 16 victims, and an investigation that spanned decades. So, who was the monster of Florence? Was it a lone, cunning psychopath? Was it Pietro Passiani and his friends? Or was it something else entirely? A conspiracy so deep that its secrets remain buried. Theories abound. Some point to a mysterious figure known as Ulysses, a potential foreign lead. Others suggest a high-level cover-up to protect influential people. The use of an 22 Beretta, a common weapon, and the lack of forensic evidence have made a definitive answer impossible. The files remain open, but the case has grown cold. The Monster of Florence is not just a true crime story. It's a dark Italian legend, a chilling reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we can never truly see. The Tuscan hills now hold their secrets, and the ghost of the monster continues to haunt the collective memory of a nation. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries.